jiao is a precious medicinal herb. It is prepared by boiling shaved donkey skin with water. According to traditional medicine, a jiao is considered a tonic, with many uses such as blood tonic, yin tonic, helps replenish blood, improve anemia, and physical weakness. Hemostasis, used to treat cases of bleeding such as coughing up blood, vomiting blood, bloody stools, menorrhagia, and uterine bleeding. Pregnancy care, helps nourish the fetus, prevent miscarriage, especially for pregnant women with threatened miscarriage and bleeding. Lung moistening, cough relief, supports the treatment of dry cough, long-term cough due to deficiency and internal heat, helps sleep well, reduces stress, improves insomnia, anxiety, and restlessness. The black donkey skin is soaked in cold river water for 7 days and 7 nights. After being lifted, the craftsman begins to scrape off the thick hair. Then carefully remove the remaining fat, otherwise the whole batch of glue will be ruined. This is the first step and also the step that tests perseverance. Once the leather is clean and supple, the craftsman begins to spread it out and cut it into square pieces. The size is not fixed, but each slice must be sharp and square, not torn or crushed. These pieces of leather will be cooked for many days, and just a small deviation is enough to make the whole pot of glue cloudy, unable to crystallize. After hours of boiling in the pot, the donkey skin has now softened into wavy sheets of gelatin. At this point, flour is added, not for flavor, but as a carrier to help the paste stick together, smooth and free of sediment. Once the mixture of leather and powder has blended, the worker begins the cleaning process. Not just once, but over and over again until there is no more smell, no more powder residue. Once again, the skin pieces were cut into smaller pieces and boiled, but this time the water was not ordinary water. It was water from an ancient well, cool, deep, quiet, and filled with the negative energy of the earth. When the pot boils steadily, layers of white foam begin to rise to the surface of the water. The worker gently uses a ladle to remove them. Each ripple of foam is impurities, the excess that is pushed out during the refining process. Only when the surface of the pot is clear can the chow reach its true purity. After that, the simmered water is filtered once more through many layers of fine cloth. But the journey is not over yet. The craftsman adds more water and continues to boil. This is not a surplus, but a way to extract every last drop of the remaining spiritual energy in each fiber of the skin. Once again, the worker patiently skems off the foam that rises to the top of the pot. The clear liquid is filtered through layers of cloth, keeping only the clearest, lightest, and most transparent part. Then it is poured back into the pot and boiled again. When the liquid begins to thicken, it ripples like slow-flowing blood, thick and shiny black. At this point, the worker adds a little soybean oil, not to add flavor, but to keep the liquid smooth, supple, and from cracking when it cools. When the paste is smooth, the worker adds brown rock sugar, not to sweeten it, but to neutralize the bitterness, soften the medicinal properties, and make the paste easier for the human body to use. When the concentrate has reached the perfect concentration, smooth and shiny like old pine resin, the craftsman carefully pours in a small amount of rice wine. In traditional medicine, wine is a yang medicine, a conductor, helping the essence penetrate deeper into the body. After hours of hard work by the fire, the thick paste has thickened, shimmering like amber, shimmering in the middle of the pot. The craftsman slowly pours it into the wooden mold. No rush, no distraction. After a night of quiet rest in the wooden mold, the chow has solidified. The worker gently removes the chow from the mold, a precious medicinal block, the crystallization of a long and arduous process. Each sharp knife slice passes through, dividing the chow into equal pieces. Each piece of glue after cutting is not used immediately, but is placed in a cool, quiet place. It lies there, resting, recuperating, for exactly 2 months. The glue not only needs fire and water to form, but also needs time for the essence to stabilize, for the medicinal power to penetrate deeply, for the spiritual energy to converge. This is the stage of nourishing the glue, like a person after a storm, needing a period of recovery to reach the strongest state. After 2 months of rest in the cool air, perfection is reached. The artisan solemnly places each extract in a wooden box, sealed in the gentle scent of warm wood. Then it is kept for further aging as a final ritual, not to dry but to ripen like fine wine. The longer it is kept, the richer the flavor. The craftsman carefully took out each piece of ointment and wiped it clean. Every trace of dust and sticky layer left over from the fermentation process was removed, revealing a smooth, dark layer of ointment, like a block of ripe black jade. After being cleaned, each piece of the balm is again brought out to dry. The last drying time, but no less important. That is when each piece of balm breathes one last time with nature. The excess moisture is released. The medicinal properties are retained inside. After drying, each stick is collected by the worker. Selecting 2 to 3 sticks, the worker soaks them in pure rice wine for 6 hours. At the same time, the craftsman added ginseng, a great tonic, red dates, blood nourishing and calming, and black goji berry, refreshing and moistening. All were poured with pure spring water, then simmered continuously over low heat for half a day. After half a day of careful cooking, the warm water in the pot is soaked with the essence of ginseng, red apples, and wolfberries. Poured out and mixed with the concentrated water, the dark brown color blends with the red light of apples and the black light of wolfberries,